What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and in this one we got the post-game report to Michigan's 24-17 win over Michigan State. As they prevail in this one, they keep Paul home, and while the defense struggled for Michigan, Michigan's offense picked it up in this one with Davis Warren, Alex Orji leading the way for Michigan. Not only that, but Michigan probably played their most disciplined game of football this season with no penalties, no turnovers in this one. So we're going to be talking about it, going over the key takeaways from the game and also some key quotes post-game. So let's go ahead and get right into it here. So right away, as I said, Michigan in this one, no turnovers, no penalties, and that's what won them this game. And it was pretty awesome to see because all season Michigan has had too many turnovers, too many penalties, and coming into this one, if you would have told me that Michigan would have no turnovers and no penalties in this one, I would have thought you were crazy. But this team, they did it when it mattered most. And hey, you got to give credit where credit is due. Sherrone Moore, this coaching staff, this team looked unmotivated in the first quarter, but Sherrone Moore and this staff got the players rolling, and they really controlled this whole game in the second half there, leading 24-10. I think the only negative in this one was the defense, and more in detail on the defensive side, it was the rushing defense for Michigan. Gave up way too many rushing yards in this one. But I mean, other than that, the Michigan offense, they did their job. It looked a lot better and quite frankly was kind of fun to watch there in the second half, which is not something we're used to seeing. So you look at the stats though, Michigan State did outgain Michigan 352 total yards to Michigan's 265. They had 189 passing yards, 163 rushing yards. Michigan, they had 146 passing yards and 119 rushing yards. Michigan did struggle kind of rushing the ball in this one, or running the ball in this one. They couldn't really get anything going. Michigan's leading rusher was Alex Orji, 6 carries, 64 yards and a touchdown. And Donovan Edwards had 24 yards. Khalil Mullings only had 18. But I think, towards the second quarter and in the second half especially, Michigan, Kurt Campbell, the offensive coordinator, they kind of opened things up for Davis Warren, and I think what we started to see is Michigan start to pass the ball to open up the run game, which is obviously something we have not been able to do all season long with the quarterback play. But Davis Warren, give credit where credit is due, he had a phenomenal game and he did exactly what he had to do in this one. 13 of 19 for 123 yards and a touchdown, no turnovers, and quite frankly no mistakes for this Michigan team other than a lot of missed tackles on defense. Now Michigan State, they did have a few mistakes. They missed an early field goal early on in the game, and they lost that fumble. Michigan then recovered. Kenneth Grant dropped on it. He learned from the USC game, and then Michigan was up 9-7 at half, which was a huge win for Michigan because Michigan State definitely should have been leading up to that point. Then Michigan State also didn't recover that onside kick, which gave Michigan good field position. So at the end of the day, Michigan, they didn't make really as many mistakes as Michigan State did, and that's what won them this game. They won the turnover battle. They also had no penalties. Michigan State, on the other hand, they had 6 penalties against them. So that's really, at the end of the day, what won this game for Michigan. They didn't shoot themselves in the foot, and Michigan State, again, they outgained Michigan. They had a lot more plays offensively. They won the time of possession battle by almost 15 minutes in this one. At the end of the day though, Michigan just capitalized more on the drives that they had. So let me know what you guys think. Obviously, it's always nice to beat Michigan State, keep Paul home, and this was a big game for Sherrone Moore. It's a nice confidence builder for this team, and it's also just nice to see this team still fighting because coming into this game, Michigan State had a lot of momentum. They clearly had a reason to have way more motivation than this Michigan team, but credit to these players, this team, the leaders, the coaching staff, and quite frankly, at the end of this, Michigan wanted this one more than Michigan State. So credit to the players, man. They are still fighting out there, and that's what you love to see. That's what you want to see. But obviously, defensively, they have to work on tackling, man. A lot of missed tackles. It's been like that all season too. So that's the only downside of this one. They did step up towards the end there though, so that makes up for it. Michigan gets the job done 24-17, but a lot to work on defensively. Now, they were without Rashawn Benny again. Also, Will Johnson, he's injured still. Hopefully we get him back for next week against Oregon because we're definitely going to need him for that game. But Michigan did have 6 tackle for losses and 3 sacks by Cameron Brandt, Derek Moore, and Josiah Stewart, who also had that strip fumble. He is an absolute game changer. He has been going off this season. Jair Hill also had a great game along with Amir Hall. I mean, Michigan's secondary, credit to them, man. They held up pretty good in this one without their best player out of Will Johnson. There were some deep shots that Michigan State had, but for the most part, it was really Michigan's rushing defense that struggled in this one, but they got that key stop at the end of it, and then Alex Orji finished it off. 2 first downs at the end of it, and I tell you what, he was a big reason Michigan won this game. And, Kirk Campbell, credit to him, man. He called a great game in this one. There were still some questionable calls, but he called a much better game, and that's exactly what you love to see. This first-time offensive coordinator, this offense finally finding a rhythm. Davis Warren taking over. He had a great game again, made some nice throws, man. He found the open receivers, and the receivers were getting open for him, so it was just an all-around great job for this offense. And also the pass protection, I think that's a big reason Davis Warren had a successful game in this one. Michigan's pass protection, no sacks allowed, and Davis Warren was not pressured that much in this one, which made him, make some good throws in this one, so that they have to keep that up here through the rest of the season for him. We also got to see that trick play from Donovan Edwards to Colston Loveland, who had a great game, 6 receptions, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also talked that stuff post-game, kind of had his Mike Hart moment, but when you literally outscore your in-state rival in the past 3 games in your Michigan career, you might as well talk that crap, right? I mean, he personally outscored Michigan State in his career here at Michigan. So yeah, it was definitely nice though to see this offense finding a rhythm. And I just think, the balance between going to Davis Warren and then to Alex Orji, it was a perfect balance today, and that's exactly what they got to keep doing here now. It was also nice to have Miles Hitton back on the offensive line. We did see Andrew Gentry go down, which was, not a good sign. Hopefully he's all good, but Evan Link came in. But Michigan gets a huge rivalry win over Michigan State. Little brother to win 3 straight over them. I do want to talk about some key quotes post-game, what Sherrone Moore and some players said. First, I do want to give a shout out to my guy Michael Long. He's been a big supporter on this channel, and he is the first person to join the Michigan Legend membership level here on this channel. So shout out to Michael Long. Right now we do have 4 channel members, so thank you guys, all you guys, for supporting, and that's the best way you can support this channel. If you guys didn't know, channel members are out there. But yeah, shout out to Michael Long. Thank you for joining the Michigan Legend level. I appreciate you, and I appreciate the rest of the channel members as well. But let's go ahead and talk about what Sherrone Moore said post-game. He did talk about, going into the second quarter, how he kind of laid into his team to start the second quarter, and the guys finally woke up. He said, I can't really say exactly what I said, if you get my drift, but really the message was just, we're not operating to the standard that we needed to be, especially the offensive line, the president. We set wearing that helmet, wearing that uniform. There's a standard, and I didn't feel like we were upholding that standard, and I challenged them to do that at the highest level. And he said that was the message to them, and they responded. And obviously he said, this game, it was huge. I thought it was a great win. It's the biggest game of the year in state, so it means a lot for the program to keep Paul home here and have it for the other 365, and that's the goal, to keep it here forever. And he also said, it was just huge for our kids to get a victory, feel that confidence again. And he also got asked, about going or switching quarterbacks, throughout the season. Obviously, maybe we should have stuck with Davis Warren. But, it is hard to do that when he has multiple turnovers back-to-back games against Texas and Arkansas State. But talking about it, he said, I'm never going to look back and have regrets. I think we made those right decisions at that time. But, credit really to him because he never flinched at any point. He got replaced and he stayed in there, and he's the same guy. Even Donovan Edwards, speaking about Davis Warren post-game, he said he's shown time and time again that he overcomes adversity in his personal life and in the football world. Also, Edwards, speaking about his trick play throw, he said, I ain't the next Tom Brady, but I'm an athlete. I didn't need a warm-up. Now, Donovan Edwards, he's 4 for 4 with 2 touchdowns in his career passing for Michigan. Pretty impressive to say the least for the senior running back, and maybe we'll get to see him throw that thing one more time this season. But it was definitely nice to see that trick play get pulled out. This offense, you saw it happen twice with both of Colson Loveland's touchdowns, actually, where Michigan State, they were stacking the box, and they kind of faked him out on Colson Loveland's first touchdown, and the safeties kind of dropped down thinking Warren was going to hand it off to Edwards, and Colson Loveland was wide open. And then obviously the last one was a trick play with Edwards throwing that thing deep. Colson Loveland wide open again. So great job by Kurt Campbell. Again, he called a great game. He's got to keep it up though. So hopefully we see this offense continue this moving forward. And like I said again, it was actually fun to watch this team in this game, and they pick up a big one, 24-17 over Little Brother. They keep Paul home. And other than that, that is going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more. If you are new around here, I greatly appreciate it. And other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.